Hey everyone, this is RayMatt007. I decided to start recording right now on the screen. I usually just start recording in game, but I thought this was funny. Treatment for your rash. Those are really funny little things that kind of just make this game awesome. But anyway, going into ObsidianCraft. Alright, I'm Mindkid server. I just started playing it. Not sure if I've developed an opinion on it right now, but maybe I'll start or record a video on it at some point in time. But anyway. One thing I wanted to do is show you guys, well, before I start showing you an updated tour of how much work myself and DM Farron have done on Minas Tirith, I just want to let you know the reason you can hear me better is because I went out and bought a new headset. I used to own a correction, not a Kraken, just I can't remember the version. I have it right next to me. Let me check real quick. Just a Razer headset. Nothing fancy. Whatever the cheapest one was is what I bought, and it served me very well and for quite a few years. And I saw reviews, and people say it lasts for quite a while, and it did last for quite a while. But I recently moved, and some reason the microphone portion didn't work. So the reason every video in the past has been kind of sound muffled and scuffled or whatever is because I was using my built-in microphone on my laptop to record. So anyway, things sound better. So if anybody wants to get a good headset with a microphone, I would go for the Razer Kraken 7.1. I would highly recommend it. It's an amazing headset. And instead of having a mic and headset plug-in like jack's cable, it has a USB. So you just plug it into USB and automatically you can downloads the software for you that it needs, and using that software you can determine whether you want to hear through your speakers on your computer, monitor, or whatever, and just customize it in so many different ways. So just go ahead and play with that. And it has surround sound, of course, 7.1. Anyway, Matt finished updating, so this is how far we've gotten. Actually, I did more work on the road, so I will need to update the map. Let's see if it updates. Oh, did not mean to do that. By the way, if you right click on a map, it does that. It just rotates it. But as you can see, look how much work I've done. Let's click fly so you can show you around. So I'm going to show you around while I update my map. So I can't remember where we left off in the last video. I believe we were working on the third level. So in the earlier videos you saw us working on the first level and the second level maybe. I can't remember if I did a video on the second level, but it was just me and DM Farron talking, and then of course we worked on the third level. I remember making a video on that. But anyway, since then we also created the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and I'm falling. And of course the seventh level and the ship that's in Minas Tirith, the trademark ships, excuse me. I don't want to say ships plural. Anyway, and of course we made the top up here, so I'm just gonna fly around and you got the lake that you can see in the Lord of the Rings movie, the Great White Tree, of course, which we just used birchwood. And most awesome is the White Tower. So one thing, if you're too lazy to walk around the roads, which aren't necessarily complete, we made the roads out of quartz, and quartz is something that we've decided to just mine ourselves in another world to make these roads. But anyway, as you can see, we're still working on the other layers in terms of building construction, and uh, that's something that will come in the future. But of course, it's it's a big project we've taken on. Anyway, it's pretty much the core of the entire Minas Tirith is complete. Just need to start making it into more of a town feel, adding more shops, and maybe we're planning on adding mansions in the back. So for those incredibly wealthy players. But anyway, coming down here, we have a map, which I forgot to. Yeah, I need to fly down there, update everything. But anyway, we have this map. So by the way, if you want to teleport up to the top instead of having to fly, for those of you who are green names or can't fly in ObsidianCraft, just type /warp space white tower, 2 words, and you appear on top by of course, the White Tower. So you got here the White Tower. It's pretty cool. Got the Hall of Heroes back there. For any of you Lord of the Rings fanatics, you'll probably think this is pretty cool. And no sign, empty sign, of course. King's Hall. I don't know why I said Hall of Heroes. King's Hall, Minas Tirith. But anyway, and this is new. I haven't seen this before. DM Farron's been working at it. Anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. Most picture frames look different on DM Farron's texture pack. In his texture pack, he set them up and they looked pretty cool. I looked at his monitor and everything, and it was like a red robe or a red curtain, then blue curtain, red curtain, blue curtain. It looked really cool and on his screen. And then when I came in to check it out for myself with the standard texture pack, which is what I use, the default texture pack, it looks like this. And he spent all that work. He just stood here clicking on the picture frames over and over again until the right one came up. And then he moved on and kept doing that. I don't know, he spent probably an hour doing this, maybe more, like a couple hours. And then when I came in, he saw it. He's like, "Oh, I don't care." It took so long to work on it. But anyway, I thought it was hilarious. He's got a really cool design. I like what he did with the place. I'm just waiting for this update a little. Oh, I guess it's updated. Anyway, got the black stained glass here. He's got black wool. Of course, a lot of quartz. White stained glass as well. These glass panes? No, they're just glass. Anyway, and of course he's got the black wool clashing with the quartz, and of course he's got the pillar quartz right up here, which I think was a really cool idea. And we kept that tradition alive of the pathway that I'm building, which is in the center is quartz, the roadway, and then on the outskirts is just cobblestone. So we really like the design, don't think we'll change it. But anyway, there's a pig up here. For some reason these pigs like climbing up here. I wonder what happens if he falls. Oh yeah, he's gone. Yeah, there's no way. There we go. Anyway, this look, this is pretty much where the road stopped, all the way at the top. So if you keep following the road, it kind of snakes through. Like if you look at the map, sort of just snakes on through into each gate layer that continues on. But anyway, eventually ends here, and there's 2 staircases that go up. Just follow one of them up, and of course you got this doorway, right? And it is a fortress, remembering it's Minas Tirith, and you got this gate, so you can only open it from up here. But I will leave it open so people who can't fly can actually get up here, or they can just warp if they really want to. But anyway, that's a little bit of a tour. I'll take you down to the bottom, see what we did. Those of you who've been following our project early on, we used to have a warp castle shop used to exist up in the sky, and it was just a bunch of glass pane windows, and so you can monitor our progress. Since we're done, we kind of got rid of it, and we actually moved the castle shop to over here. So if you want to come here, you gotta just type that in, castle shop, one word, / warp castle shop, and you can go around shopping. And I'll just briefly look through. We got a lot of potions, diamonds, high-end items that DM Farron's selling. He's got some beacons, of course, and we have a ton of saddles that we found. That's how we actually originally made our money in ObsidianCraft, was going around desert temples and opening the chests and just finding a ton of saddles and horse armor. So our main intention started off was we want saddles so we can find horses and then ride horses. And we ended up flying around looking for horses, and instead we found a ton of temples, jungle temples, mostly desert temples that were untouched, and we found a ton of those, but still had trouble finding horses. Eventually we did. But anyway, you had a bunch of more items for sale, just walking through real quick. Item frames and everything. Anyway, if you really want to check it out, I added this real cool feature. I found out you could do this. If you just take a compass, put it in a picture frame, it follows the daytime, so it's like having a clock on your wall. It's really cool. Anyway, speaking of horses, this is where we store our horses that we found, a bunch of them. They were a pain to get in there and lock in here. They just keep wandering off on their own. There's a duck in our fountain. Or duck. Chicken, but when he's in the water, he's a duck, right? Anyway, oh yeah, we have another shop that we haven't quite opened up yet. It's kind of like vacant space for now. We have our another shop called Warrior Forge. Of course, it's enchanted in normal gear, as you can see. If you want to go to it, check it out. Check out our prices. Warrior Forge, one word. And we don't have picture frames up just yet, but oh, that's not good. It should be closed. Anyway, I'll fix that before anyone gets to it. See, that one's working. Anyway, that one's not, that's not good either. Anyway, there's an upstairs if anybody wants to check out more prices. Iron swords, iron spades, anything. And I'll take you to my wool shop real quick. Alright, this is actually the first shop that we had started right here. It's still incomplete, kind of still trying to figure out what I want to do with it. The idea was to have it as a general food store. And don't have a warp for it, it's just something that if you want to get to Minas Tirith, just warp Minas Tirith, and you end up at the front gate. Let me return this map real quick. Yeah, that's great. Alright, that looks better. And speaking of which, if you go on the other side of that map, you have a more expanded out, zoomed out map. The countryside map is what we call it. And you can see, I believe right over here is the spawn point. Somewhere in here, maybe right there, is the actual spawn point for the Savannah 2 biome. Is it Savannah? It might be Forest 2 biome. A lot of trees around. Probably Forest. I can't remember. It's been such a long time. But anyway, just on the edge of what appears to be a desert biome. If I have another map that I'm working on that zooms out way more than this, and you can see that our area here is surrounded by desert all the way around, and the only grassy area kind of goes south and into the east. But just below this, you can't see it. There's actually a shoreline, and there's ocean just beyond that. So we're kind of like in the south portion of the continent, or the ObsidianCraft continent. Anyway, if you want to check out some cool things, we have we're working kind of like a shopping mall directory. Each level has certain different things. Of course, 7th level has the White Tower and King's Hall. Oh, and he even put the White Tree and Tower Guard, which we'll go over in another video. Anyway, I'll show you. We have next video. I'll also go over what this wall is all about, and there's another side to it. The other side is where if you want to help donate to this build, because we, as you can see, required a lot of stone, and we still require a lot of stone for all these houses we're making. And one cool thing is on the other side of this wall on your right from where you spawn in Minas Tirith, just behind it we have a bunch of signs over here. So over here are different warps to cities, including our own, Minas Tirith. There's a bunch of other cities, so if I'll just sit here real quick so you guys take a look, or pause the video and write them down if you really want to visit them. And over here are shopping malls. We keep adding to it just about every week, and there is criteria for getting on this wall. You have to be a decent shop, and it's honestly totally objective. DM Farron is the one who adds shops to the warp shops to this list, because he's huge into market, and he's pretty good at buying and selling on the market, and he's really good at it. So of course we trust him to be the market guy, the go-to guy. So he always goes to a lot of these places just to compare prices, and then changes prices accordingly, and he does it on a regular basis. So he's pretty dedicated when it comes to market, and he's pretty good at it and making money. So anyway, just stand here real quick so you can pause the video if you want to write down some of these shops, the name of these shops. Alright. And here's my general goods store. I also have a wool store. I have a ton of picture frames. I don't know why, I was just playing picture frames. That's where we got the idea to put picture frames in the King's Hall. So a wool shop, if you want to go to it, the warp is just /warp. It's actually Walmart, I believe. Yeah, I named it Walmart even though it says wool shop on top. But well, here are my prices. I have very competitive prices. If you look around, nobody else can compare it to my prices. I'm doing very well at wool. It's surprisingly not selling very well. I don't know if it's popularity or not, but I ended up stacking up quite a bit over the past few months, and very dedicated with keeping up with my wool shop. But anyway, here are my prices. I've filled up pretty much all the chests, and I continue to fill up. I actually have secondary chests which are already filled up because that's how long it's been, and I'm able to just keep adding more and more. But I have every single color of wool that you can think of. Think about, I'm doing so well with just keeping it stocked, including the surplus chests that I have completely filled up, that I ended up making a stained glass shop. I have the mechanics to build more. Anyway, stained glass shops on the second floor of Warp C-Mart. C-Mart stands for, it's the construction mart, but call it C-Mart for short. Anyway, we have an ender chest immediately on the left and a crafting table in the ground here. So we sell, there's a bunch of stuff. I'll let you guys check it out. We have a ton of wood. We're selling all types of wood, wooden logs, miscellaneous. It's all here. A bunch of, the whole idea is construction materials. So anything you need for construction materials, obsidian, blocks, stone, anything like that, just come to C-Mart, check it out. Wood, protection stones included. We have a ton of protection stones, and up here also have stained glass, which is kind of my project, which I added, and I have every single color of glass, including clear glass. Now it's not stained glass panes that I created, it's just stained glass. If you want stained glass panes, of course, you just take 3 blocks and put them next to each other in the crafting table, and you'll get a stack of 16 glass panes. So I have every color you can think of, including regular glass, if that's what you're buying for. One thing I want to add there is the reason why black stained glass is so much higher in prices than everything else is because, oh, there you go, as I said, it's full. Because squid ink is pretty pricey. You can buy it on the standard market, ObsidianCraft market. Squid ink is, I believe, $250 for 1 unit. So right here I'm selling 300. For 300 you can get a stack of 8 glass. Now for those of you who know how to make glass, it's pretty expensive. 1 ink sack makes 8 stained glass, black stained glass. So of course, if I sold it at like all these other prices, if I sold it at what I wanted to, 150 for a stack of 8, I would be losing a lot of money. So this is the lowest I could get to make any type of profit at all. Anyway, so that's my reasoning behind it. And of course, you need black also to make gray glass, as well as, where is it? It's right here. As well as, so they call ObsidianCraft calls it silver, but it's light gray glass. So it's a little higher as well too. I tried to keep them as low as I could. Anyway, very competitive prices. Somebody came over here and left their dog. There you go, gave him some meat, and he loves me. But it's not my dog. I tried putting a name tag on him, but he's already got a name tag. And I can't remember who it was that owned that dog. But anyway, I'm not going to hurt him. I like having his presence around. We still have more stuff that we could add. We kind of have a little redstone shop going here. But, you know, it's starting. Anyway, over here is the nether shop. About anything nether. Once again, second floor. And oh, I love this. It's really cool. Just having the lava flow downward over here behind glass. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, one thing I did is I love maps, so I tried mapping out the netherworld, and that's all that came out. No matter what you do, how big the map, how small, it's gonna come out like that. It looks really cool, like a cool design. But so I just put it up here on a picture frame, and it actually kind of looks ugly now. Think about it. If I switch it around, nah, still looks kind of crappy. I'll think about changing that up. But anyway, that's pretty much it for shops. There'll be more to come later. We'll keep adding to them as we go. And one future thing that we're looking to doing is selling these shops so people can start their own shops in Minas Tirith. And we're going to continue that. We're going to continue these shops all the way down to the different levels. And we're going to try to add real estate as well so players can move in so it can kind of turn into its own town. Those are just projects we're thinking about in the future. Nothing's, of course, set in stone. But the one big concern we really thought about was how we're going to make Minas Tirith. And I think it turned out very cool, very great. But the front gate looks pretty cool too. But anyway, it's just It was a lot. I know it's kind of a long video, but thanks for watching, and thanks to all those donators, which I'll name in the next video, for donating to our build. It took quite a while, as you can tell, but we didn't do any of this in creative mode. This is all straight up us flying around and placing blocks individually, and we had to create, or well, for the most part, we created every block. We took a lot of these stone items, stone blocks, smooth stone blocks from very generous donors, and any cobblestone we just ended up building an enormous furnace room and making our own and just crafting all these on our own. So it was quite the project, but it's very rewarding just to fly around and look at this. Very proud of this, and I hope we can get some visitors soon and people visiting our shops to show their support. So thanks for watching. Until next time.